The college football experience. Week 8 DFS show for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on the Sports Gambling Podcast Networks presented by WynnBET. Bet $100 at WynnBET and get $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by the SGPN merch store. Use the promo code NFCBEAST for 15% off, active until the Eagles or Giants lose their next game. And let me tell you, got a brand new Tennessee Vols shirt there. Take Me to the River, college experience, campus edition t-shirt. Check it out.
Fire, absolute fire.
Absolute fire. So check that thing out and let it ride, people.
This is Brock Purdy from Iowa State, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes. Woo-wee. Welcome to the college football experience, Week 8 DFS show. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink and I don't have stress and I'm healthy.
Thursday slate, Friday slate, Saturday morning and night slate. 4 slates. We're giving them away. Subscribe to the college football experience. Remember, subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. You can watch this, folks. And you're going to want to watch this episode, but you're also going to want to read a nice little column this guy puts out every single week on college football DFS on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network or sportsgamblingpodcast.com, or get the SGPN app for free in the App Store or Google Play Store. Give it up for the DFS god himself, the rooftop IPA drinking, homebrew making, tobacco road living, the free lock giving, former Herndon Basketball League MVP. Give it up for NC Nick in the place to be.
There we go. What's going on, man?
I don't know how you pulled that out of your ass last night. I was busy knocking out college basketball episodes, but I see Georgia State up 14-0. I'm getting 10.5 points, and I'm up 24.5 to nothing in the middle of the second quarter, I feel like. And I lose? You're telling me I lose?
I dropped a couple angry tweets there in the first quarter because it looked like App State just had no fire in the belly. It looked they looked awful the first quarter. Obviously, they went down 14-0. They didn't look like they could do much offensively. Didn't look like they could stop them at all on defense. And I swear, the after the first quarter, those second, third, fourth quarter, App State just owned them. They just ran down their throats. They dominated offensively, defensively, you name it. So hopefully the Mountaineers are back on track with that. And come on, man, they own Georgia State, especially at home. And you should have listened to me because I tried to tell you and Patty C to lay the points.
You were nervous as hell when you saw them down. You're like, no way I'm going to cover this now. And
I wasn't nervous. I was angry. I was angry. But that's why they play 4 quarters, man. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Continue on that journey with that. Hey, I'm actually kind of happy that at least App won the game because our over on the win total lock kind of sweating that one now.
Yeah, now they have Robert Morris next week, so that shouldn't be a problem. And then the game I'm going to is that App versus Coastal game. And obviously, since I'm going to, I want it to be an impactful game. So I'm glad App won as well. And hopefully Coastal doesn't drop anymore before that game either.
Yeah, exactly. Something to Fun Belt, Sun Belt is fantastic this year.
Especially when they play on Wednesday. Keep it up, guys.
Yes. More weekday games. Let's do it. And we got a bunch of weekday games. We got 2 tonight on Thursday, 2 on Friday, and then obviously a loaded college football slate for Saturday.
Let's quickly recap last week before we hop in. Wednesday night, I won the Sun Belt Showdown contest. We only had a handful of people in that. I took down that one. Thursday, Alan Cooley, been playing very well DFS lately. He won that.
That's before he went missing, right? Because
that was before the big Tennessee game. That was when he was thinking clearly and not drunk or hungover.
Alan Cooley, Tennessee Volunteer fan. He's been on milk cartons over the past few days. We have not heard from him. We hope he's okay. He's probably swimming in the Tennessee River with the fucking goalpost.
Now, he's the one that told me he reached out to Stacking the Money Green about that Knoxville to the River t-shirt idea.
He might be right.
He is alive and well, and also has a new t-shirt also. But Beefer54 came in second. On Friday, our guy Jamie82381, RJ1142 came in second. As far as a side bet, it is null and void because SMU decided to sit their top 2 running backs and not tell anybody. So
welcome to college football DFS.
I swear, man, especially these weekday games have been tough lately. And we'll get to it this week also because we have a lot of questionable players playing Thursday and Friday. So it's going to be tough. But Siggers, he didn't play. And Velton Gardner, he didn't play either. So forget about that. Moving on to Saturday. Saturday pissed me off, man, because I had it wrapped up. I was in first place coming down to the wire in the main slate. And unfortunately, that the TCU game goes into overtime. And the eventual winner, Odin's Ravens 696, had Quentin Johnson, the TCU receiver, who caught a touchdown in overtime. It propelled him to the first spot. He won. I came in second, still in the money, but I thought I had number one, first place wrapped up there. Now, you did win the side bet. You called for a big game from Puka Nukau.
Yeah, he's a beast.
And he crushed it.
Yeah.
He crushed it. We were trying to think of the side bet. I either had Epps, the other BYU receiver, who had another nice day, but just not.
No CTE here.
Or I had the Wisconsin receiver who he caught a touchdown, but other than that, didn't do much. So either way, you won that side bet, hands down. And then the night slate, R.R. Bowl Jr., he took it home. He won. Second place, pick Dundee.
You know what helped me, though? East Carolina going into overtime.
Oh, yeah.
Keton Mitchell had a touchdown and a 2-point conversion in overtime.
That's right. But the side bet, I edged you out barely. Drake May had, I think, one more fantasy point than Riley Leonard, Duke's quarterback.
That fucking missed field goal or that touchdown that got taken back. That was the winner right there.
Or the touchdown that UNC threw to win the game, which it was very questionable. Very questionable.
We're appealing. I'm writing my fucking senator. All right, look. Let's hop into it. Let's hop right on into it. Let's just play some music to get into Thursday. DFS Week 8 Thursday night. We got a wild one because we got 2 ball games going on, and arguably you could make a case this might be the biggest game in the Sun Belt all year. I know you're hoping the Coastal app, which still could be, but on the other side of things, this is a gigantic game in the Sun Belt. Troy at South Alabama, and then you have an ACC classic, Virginia at Georgia Tech. Catch the sarcasm.
And the over-runners are almost identical. 46.5 in Troy, South Alabama, 47 in Virginia, Georgia Tech. So maybe you have a pretty good spread of players from all 4 teams.
Yeah, I kind of do. Did you go with 2 quarterbacks?
I most certainly did. I have a little bit of a cough here, so excuse me. And I'm going to go with a guy who has a questionable tag. I think he's going to play, but Jeff Sims at 6.2K, Georgia Tech's quarterback. He's been playing well of late with the coaching change. And as long as he plays, I think he's going to have a big game against UVA.
And even though UVA's defense, this is hilarious, they go out and hire the DC from, what is his name? Jeff, drawing a blank on his last name. But
Foxworthy.
Yes. And look, you might be a redneck if you can find Virginia's offense because it's been fucking horrible. And Virginia's defense has been, and the irony here is Virginia's defense was atrocious last year.
Yeah.
So they made the right hire on the defensive side of the ball. But I still think Jeff Sims will get his because he, even if he throws a couple picks, he runs for a lot of yards. So,
Yep. And that's pretty much my thought here. I want dual threat guys, and I know the UV offense has been awful, but my second quarterback, I'm going to go back to my guy, Brennan Armstrong, for $7K.
You're fucking reckless.
He played pretty well in the Louisville game, so I got both quarterbacks in this matchup. I mean, if you ask me, I would steer clear of the Troy quarterback situation. So the really only question is, if you want two quarterbacks, do you go Bradley with South Alabama, who it's a fine play. And actually, I ended this slate with enough money to roster either Armstrong or Bradley. So tell me if I'm crazy, but I'm going to go Brennan Armstrong, actually.
Yeah, you're really fucking crazy. I took Carter Bradley for senator. And Brennan Armstrong, I've been a big fan, but he made a mistake by staying in Charlottesville and lighting those tiki torches. All right, because that offense sucks ass. His offensive line sucks ass. It's on the road for him.
Yeah.
Carter Bradley's at home. It just makes a lot more sense to go with Carter Bradley. Let's go. That's our bet.
I think there's going to be more points. That is the bet. Let's do it, man. But I think Virginia and Georgia Tech might have more points than Troy, South Alabama. That might be a rock fight. And if you look at Carter Bradley, he had a big game last week against ULM. Also against Central Michigan in week 2, had 30 fantasy points. Other than that, he's been in the teens. So it's not like he's crushing it. I'm kind of surprised he's the most expensive quarterback on the slate. It should be Jeff Sims, if you ask me.
I think his questionable status, though, might have affected that.
Sure.
But, yeah, I got Carter Bradley and Jeff Sims. My team's better than those. And let's go to the running backs. I did 2 running backs only. How many did you do?
I went 3. So let me start with my top guy since I have one more than you. And you're going to have to pay attention tonight about 5 minutes before kickoff. Almost like last night, we didn't know about Cameron Peoples. He was a GTD.
I got burned by that. I had my fucking lineup. I was recording college basketball, so I could not alter that. But anyway, yeah.
College football lately, the coaches have really made it tough on us DFSers, not tipping their hand one way or the other. We have no idea who's going to play. So Damian Webb is probably the best running back on the slate. Now, the last game, he only got 1 carry and then did not play the rest of the game due to an injury. It doesn't seem like he has a tag right now, so I'm assuming he's good to go. But I'm just saying you want to pay attention to him and Jeff Sims. So I'm going out on a limb here with 2 out of my first 3 guys being, question marks as far as potential injuries.
Wait, so you rostered Damian Webb?
I did. 7.4K.
Yes. You got to get him. He's like the 3rd leading receiver, 4th leading receiver on the team. He's, by far their top horse in the backfield. 472 yards on the season, 5.1 yards a rush. He's gotten the end zone 7 times, and he didn't even play a whole fucking game. So you got to have him. Got to have him rostered there. Talk to me about your second running back because I only have 2, and I'm wondering if it's the same guy we got here.
Well, the other running back, I think you have to roster him too because he's really come on of late. That is Georgia Tech's Hassan Hall, the Louisville transfer for 5.2.
Yeah, I love the get when they got him. I was surprised he left Louisville.
He started the season off real slow, but last 2 games, he's been getting the rock a lot more. Had 20 for 157 against Pitt, 17 for 70 versus Duke, and he's also catching like 3 or 4 balls a game.
He's the 2nd leading receiver on the team as far as catches.
Yeah, you probably want to steer clear of all receivers from Georgia Tech. But I think Sims and Hall, that's a pretty dynamic backfield they have there.
Yeah, certainly. All right, well, then give me your 3rd running back then.
Yeah, my last running back is the only Troy Trojan that I am rostering, and that is 3.2K, DK Billingsley. I think I'm kind of surprised that Kamani Vidal is like 2K more expensive. It's basically a 50-50 split there, but Billingsley actually has 1 more carry, 75 more rushing yards, and 1 more touchdown. Vidal does catch more balls, but I'm going to save some money there and go DK Billingsley.
I like it. I can see what you're seeing there. I can see what you're seeing there. Okay. Well then, for I went 4 wide receivers. So, my top wide receiver, I'm all over this South Alabama game where Jalen Wayne, 31 catches, 493 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Give me him at 6,900.
Play that music, my friend.
Oh, man, we have the same roster, huh? Only 2 games, so I guess that's probable. Yeah. Next up, my second.
Well, while we're talking the same game, I went with the other South Alabama receiver as well because Colin Lacey for 6.4K is not too far behind.
I got him as well. We got the same fucking team.
Tell me you don't have Keaton Thompson, UVA's receiver, for 6K.
No, I decided I didn't want any of that filth.
No, really, dude. Keaton Thompson has been. I know UVA's offense is struggling, but I mean, look what he's doing here. He hasn't caught less than 5 balls since week 1.
True, but 0 touchdowns. 0.
So you're telling me he's due, huh?
My third wideout is in that same game. I went with Tavion Wicks. Now he only has 1 touchdown, but you got to remember it's UVA. They only have like 6 touchdowns on the season.
Did you not have the money for Thompson?
I did not.
Wicks is only 400 less. You didn't have the extra change, huh?
Nope, I only have 200 left. So
all right, well, I'm done here. So who's your last guy?
Taking you to the Troy Trojans, where this is a value play. So let me just try to get this straight. They have a starter who's out for Troy at wide receiver. So you're telling me I can get Deshaun Stoudemire, who's going to be – so I forget if it's Barber or Johnson who's out. One of them is out. I think it's Barber. Is it Barber that's out? Either way, you know who the leading receiver is receptions-wise on the team? It's Deshaun Stoudemire. And knowing that they've got an injury and knowing that South Alabama is going to be winning in this game, because I am placing a wager on the Jaguars. No, I just wanted to get him. I think are you kidding me? His value is 3,800 and he's the leading receiver on the team.
That's value.
And there are other they have three or 4 good wideouts. They have 3 that are like 20 catches or above.
Yeah, I like Tez Johnson. I thought about rostering Tez Johnson. I think he's playing as far as I know. I think Barber's the guy that's out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Barber that's the guy that's out. So my team is just loaded, ready to kick some ass, and we got our bet, Bradley, against Armstrong.
My guy, Brennan Armstrong. I know he's looked shitty this year, but he does have more wheels. So as long as I can get a rushing touchdown from him, I think that might put me over the top. Let's do it.
Betting on Tony Elliott. All right, folks, I want to tell you the College Football Experience Week 8 DFS show is brought to you by WynnBET. Bet $100 at WynnBET and get a $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by No House Advantage. No House Advantage is changing the game by offering the most dynamic fantasy sports platform available today. You can play and pick 'em contests versus other people for a shot at winning $250K in cash. Download the app, choose a contest, select your player props, earn points for corrected picks, and climb up that leaderboard for your shot to win big money every single day. You can also test your skills versus the house and win 20 times the amount of money you enter if you hit all your picks. It's NFL, it's NBA, it's MLB, it's PGA, it's MMA, it's NASCAR. They got a bunch of stuff. Sign up now with the promo code SGPN at nohouseadvantage.com or download the app in the App Store to get a first deposit match up to $25. We're also brought to you by Babbel. Yes, if you're like me, it's not too late to learn a foreign language because, if you're like me, you regret not paying attention in high school. Yes. When I was in block scheduling Spanish classes, I didn't listen to shit. All right. So now that I'm an adult, I'm thinking, hey, maybe I made a mistake or two there. Let's get a little mulligan going on here. Babbel is the language learning app that sold more than 10 million subscriptions. With Babbel, you only need 10 minutes to complete a lesson, so you can start having a real-life conversation in a new language in as little as 3 weeks, people. Other language learning apps use artificial intelligence for their lesson plans. But Babbel lessons were created by over 150 language experts, and it's voiced by real native speakers, not this computer stuff. Their teaching method has been scientifically proven to be effective. So with Babbel, you can choose from 14 different languages too, including Spanish, French, Italian, and German. So right now, start your new language learning journey today with Babbel. Right now, get 55% off your subscription when you go to babbel.com/SGP. That's BABBEL.com/SGP for up to 55% off your subscription. Babbel, it's language for life, people. All right, we are back talking Friday. I like my Friday team. You?
So I think the main question in the Friday slate is, do you roster both Davis Brin and Austin Reed?
Nope.
If you do, you sink a lot of money into the quarterback position, but both of them obviously have a shot at huge games. I think both are top 10 passing offenses in America. I didn't either, though. So overall, I like it. And so did you go 2 quarterbacks?
I did go 2 quarterbacks.
Did you go Davis Brin? Because he's my top guy.
Nope. I do not like lawn chairs, and I do not like cowards. All right. So you go with your Davis Brin. All right. Stat warrior Davis Brin. All right.
At the end of the day, he's 1,400 less than Austin Reed.
True.
And he's playing Temple.
True. But he is a lawn chair, and he will fold up in key moments. And that is why Austin Reed, this kid, he's a transfer from West Florida. He won the D2 or whatever the fuck it was, national championship. He's got pedigree. This guy's a gamer. He wants to play. You go with your little safe little, this guy, Davis Brin. He needs to transfer to Iowa.
Looking at these 4 games here, we have Tulsa Temple with an over-under 52.5 and UAB Western Kentucky an over-under 57.5. All 4 quarterbacks are pretty much lawn chairs. There's no dual option or dual threat quarterback here, is there?
I like Austin Reed's mobility the best. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but he's not going to pull it down and run for 50 yards or something.
Yeah, but he's not like he's the least lawn chair available.
So my concern with my lineup is that I'm missing out on Austin Reed. Now, I do believe in the UAB pass defense. If they can just slow him up enough, perhaps I won't lose out on too many points. But at the same time, Western Kentucky, that passing game, they could go off at any given game, So that's my one issue with my lineup. But my other quarterback is Dylan Hopkins for UAB, 5.1K.
I could do that.
You went EJ Warner?
I did go with EJ.
Nice, dude. So we're totally different on quarterbacks. I like it.
I have $1,300 just sitting there, so maybe you can talk me into Dylan Hopkins.
I was gonna say maybe you could talk me into that being the side bet.
Let me just think about that for a minute.
I mean, Hopkins just put up 33 fantasy points.
Yeah.
Granted, it was against Charlotte and an awful defense.
Sold, though, but I don't think Western Kentucky's defense is lighting the world on fire. So I will, with Warner's 6 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Another thing with Warner that I got to worry about is DeJuan Mathis and Quincy Patterson always get like a possession or something. So it's frustrating.
Overall, I like Warner. I think he has a bright future, but Temple's just not there yet.
Yeah. So I will switch to Dylan, you son of a bitch, Hopkins. To quote the great movie Predator. Running backs. I only went with 2. Look at this new philosophy from Pick.
Look at you. Right? You're a changed man. I only went with 2 also. And like the running backs in this slate here were not very good whatsoever. And so you better roster by far and away the best one, and that is Dwayne McBride for 7.9K.
Yeah, I actually went with the 1-2 punch.
I thought about that.
I went with Jermaine Brown Jr. and Dwayne McBride, both UAB Blazer running backs. You can talk me into potentially, I still have $800 out there. Yeah. Okay. I know Philip Montgomery actually I know that the teams they've been a passing team this year, but traditionally Montgomery's been a run first coach. I feel like at Tulsa. Steven Anderson. But that's the problem is they just use so many. Prince was their guy a couple of years ago, or the past couple of years, but
he was hurt most of this week or most of this year. And Prince is actually the guy that I went with for 5.6K. I just think you have to get pieces going up against Temple. So Prince, I'm hoping, he ran for what he had 18 for 71 against Cincinnati 2 games back. Didn't get the rock much against Navy, but in general, Tulsa didn't run the ball much versus Navy. So it's definitely a committee. You never know who's going to get the most touches from game to game, but I like taking a shot at Prince there.
All right. Well, so who's your third running back?
No, I went 4 receivers as well. Yeah, buddy. I'm going to load up on a couple. Well, who's your most expensive? You go first this time.
My most expensive is Keelan Stokes.
Ring that bell, buddy.
Oof. Golden Hurricane, baby. They're passing attack. I want that. I want Stokes. I like to think he's the son of JJ Stokes, even though he's not. All right.
I mean, if you look at it, dude, in through 6 games, he's been over 100 in 5 of those. The only one he wasn't over 100 was at Ole Miss. So yeah, you might want to roster him.
Tell me your second highest price wideout.
Well, he's not my second highest one, but let's stay in the same game because I'll also take you. And I wanted Juan Carlos Santana because we've been rostering him for a couple years.
I have him.
Do you? So I didn't have enough money. I had Isaiah Epps 5.3K. I guess they're wide receiver 3, if you will.
I got Juan Carlos Santana. All right. Black Magic Woman will be being played while I watch Carlos Santana, carve up this Owls defense. And
does that mean, since you spent up on him, does that mean you do not have Malachi Corley?
I do not have Malachi Corley.
I do. Did you go Dawood Davis instead?
Nope.
So you rostered Austin Reed, but not the top 2 receivers? Either one of them?
Nope.
Interesting approach. Well, Malachi Corley, I mean, the last 2 games, 10 for 100 and 11 for 131.
What's his price tag?
7.6.
I do. No, I don't have enough. I thought I would have enough. Nope, not enough. Fuck him. All right.
All right. Well, who's your third receiver then?
I'm joking. He's good. That guy's good, man. So, and what was it? I remember the week 0 game. He tore up Austin P.
That's right.
But there's a guy that's a beast that I rostered a couple weeks ago last week, I think, when I might have got second place. Maybe that was the day. But his name is Jose Barbon. And
Barbone.
Yeah. Did I say Barbone? I don't know. It's early in the morning. I haven't had my coffee. All right. 29 catches, 428 yards. This guy lit up UCF. And at 4,100, why is he so low?
Yeah, play the music again.
Yeah,
he's my last guy. And really, I mean, I like both of Temple's receivers. Adonicus Sanders is 4.7K also. Temple's defense is awful. EJ Warner's going to have probably 30, 40 pass attempts. And both of those receivers produce. So I only had money for Barbone. I think he's probably the better of the 2 anyway, and he's cheaper. But I think it makes sense that, I got all these Tulsa guys, so I got to bring back with Barbone.
You gotta love Barbone there. And so then, okay, who's your next guy?
That means I'm done, man.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'll take you to so this is my final guy, I believe, right?
Should be.
I will take you back to Bowling Green, Kentucky. Look, so I don't know if you know this, buddy, but Ryan Davis, wide receiver for UAB, is out, right? Not that he's one of their top guys, but he is in the mix.
You going Shropshire?
Nope. I'm going the leading receiver, TJ Jones.
Okay.
18 catches from a reception standpoint, their leading receiver. Hasn't gotten the end zone yet, but that's why I think there's opportunity here. Let's go. TJ Jones. Let's go. Dude, he's only $3,000 or something. Come on.
Oh, wow. Okay. I've always liked Shropshire. He's a kind of a big play guy. I've rostered him in the past couple years, but nope. I'm steering clear of that UAB passing attack. I like my roster better than yours, buddy. I think I'm gonna have to take it down here.
What's our bet there?
What is our bet here? Hold on. Let me get my guy back in here. Where's Barbone?
Well, look, before we decide that, let me tell you that the college football experience is brought to you by Fubo TV. If you watch football, you need Fubo TV. Fubo TV gives you complete coverage of college and pro football. They give you the NFL Red Zone plus games in 4K at no extra charge. There's over 100 channels of live sports and entertainment for a fraction of the price of cable. You can watch it on all your devices. Never miss a game. Never miss an episode of your favorite show because they give you included cloud-based DVR. Plus, there's no contract. There's no commitment. You can cancel it at any time. So right now, you can try Fubo TV for free for 7 days and get 15% off your first month. Just go to FuboTV.com/SGP. All right, we are back.
Look, here's a side bet, and I'm going to throw you a bone, even though your guy's 1.1K more expensive. I still have the lead overall in our side bet thing. So how about a generic Prince versus Jermaine Brown Jr. side bet?
Okay, let's go.
I mean, your guy's 1.1K more expensive. I figured you'd be okay with that.
Yeah, let's go. You're going to lose.
Right, bring it on.
Hate to tell you that. Hate to tell you that you're going to lose. It goes your little Prince. You always were a Prince fan, right? I remember you singing Purple
Rain, buddy. Purple Rain.
Actually, shout out to Prince. Great fucking musician. Next up, let's go to Saturday morning, right? Saturday morning.
Main slate.
Oh, I like this lineup I got. I'm very curious to see what you're going to do here. Did you go with 2 quarterbacks?
I did. And again, similar to the main slate last week, I love some of the cheaper price quarterbacks here.
All right. Well, let's why don't you tell us who your price?
My top guy is only 6.3K. Let me take you to Michael Pratt, Patty C's favorite quarterback ever. He might be my favorite play. I mean, I think Tulane is going to do a lot on offense against Memphis. We saw ECU do a lot offensively against Memphis. Tulane is also at home. Ever since coming back from an injury, he's put up 28 fantasy points, 36.7 fantasy points. He's only 6.3K. Get out of here. Give me Michael Pratt.
I like it, and I'll be honest. I had him on my roster at one point, but I did ditch him because I saw opportunity. My top quarterback, Hartman for fucking Heisman.
Ooh,
He's my guy.
Yep.
He's my guy. When I got that sweet lineup a couple years ago, I rode good old Sam Hartman, and he's playing at home. He's taking on a shitty ass team in Boston College. So
coming off a couple sluggish games too. I think against Army, 17 fantasy points, against Florida State, only 16. I think this is the right time to roster him, though. He is just pretty damn expensive.
He is 8,900, but look, when you got that type of money, like old Pick Dundee has in the land down under, look, I know we're supposed to go back and forth here, but since we're talking this game, my second quarterback is Phil Jerkovsky.
Ooh,
Jerkovic for Boston College. Look,
wow,
a lot of points available in this game. I'm on the over. I'll have you know on 61.5. I think there's going to be a lot of points in this game, and I think Jerkovsky is a better quarterback than people realize. He's played a lot of good defenses so far this year. I think he has a pretty good day.
I'm guessing we might see another Demon Deacon or Golden Eagle in your lineup further on too, huh?
That is correct, buddy. Very correct.
Right. My second quarterback is even cheaper than my first. 6K. I'm going to go to Purdue's Aiden O'Connell. Now, I know usually you would not want to start an opposing quarterback going into Camp Randall, but Wisconsin's pass defense is not as good this year as in years past. I think they're in the 50s nationally. And Purdue is going to get their passing stats regardless of who they play. I just heard that Charlie Jones was cleared. He's going to play this week. Give me Aiden O'Connell.
Wild. That's wild. That's wild a little bit. I'm on the Badgers. I locked up the Badgers.
Another great play, and he's going to be in a couple of my lineup, not this one, is Quinn Ewers, 6.4K. Because Oklahoma State's pass defense is in the 120s, I believe.
I thought about him. The only thing that scared me, and I think he's going to be a solid play, but I also say, hey, it's his first road game of his career.
That's true.
Stillwater's ready to burn down.
But he got the BDE to handle it.
True. I still think he'll get his, so it's a solid play. Running back wise, I only went with 2
again. Oh
wow.
My goodness!
Wow,
he's a new man.
Nick Dundee.
I went 3. Excuse me.
Well, my first running back and most expensive running back, and I think you got to roster him because short of the Illinois game, Braelon Allen has been a fucking machine. All right, 8 touchdowns on the ground. He's got 9 receptions as well, which would be 4th best on the team. Purdue, Ron English has done a pretty good job with that defense. It's better than what we all kind of figured it would be. However, it's still not a good defense. Braelon Allen, 7,400. Madison's going to be rocking. Play the jump around music. Let's fucking go.
I like it. I've been impressed with Purdue's run defense this year, actually.
Yeah.
That's not saying Allen won't get his. He's going to get his regardless. But in this slate here, I went very balanced. Just call me even Steven here. My lowest guy is 5.7K and my highest guy is only 7.4K. So I got a bunch of medium price dudes, and that includes my top running back who is only 6.6K. Our guy, the Wyoming transfer, Xavier Valladay, going up against Stanford and their 119th ranked defense in the country. Valladay's been crushing it lately. Bring it on. Let's do this.
Yeah, he's a beast. I thought about him, but I just saw better opportunity out there. We got to find our bottle of bourbon bet, but I like Valladay. Obviously, I mean, we've been fans of him since he was a Wyoming Cowboy. My second and last running back, taking you. This is my guy. And last time you talked me off not playing this bastard, you prick.
I know who you're talking about.
You absolute prick, because he had a monster game.
And I have him as well.
And his name is Tyjae Spears.
There you go.
For the Green Wave as they take on a questionable Memphis Tiger team. Look, a few weeks ago, NC Nick talked me off playing Tyjae Spears, and then he scored like 50 fucking points. All right.
Hold on. What game was it? Let me pull it up here. It
Man.
Was it a Southern Miss game or was it? No, it was a Houston game, I think, right?
I think you're right.
Where he had 25 or 26 fantasy points. Where he had like 6 for 85 and a touchdown receiving. Yep,
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah, he's a fucking beast. Dude, he's in the mix for like their top wide receiver as far as receptions. I think right now it's Jackson, but only like 2 or 3 catches more than Spears. And then, he's their leading rusher with 463 rushing yards. He's a beast.
I'm actually pulling a Colby, rostering both Pratt and Spears just because I like what this Tulane offense can do against Memphis here.
There we go. So who's your third running back, buddy?
All right. I'm going to take you to Stanford, the same game, but on the other side. So I have both Arizona State and Stanford's running backs.
Great White Hope?
Casey Filkins, the next Toby Gerhart. Dude, he was just given 32 carries for 91 yards against Notre Dame. So perhaps he's not the most efficient running back, but in DFS, it doesn't matter. Strictly a volume play for only 5.8K. Give me the Great White Hope, Casey Filkins.
There you go. Casey Filkins. All right. Well, my top price wide receiver, we touched on it. Quinn Ewers in that sweet ass haircut of his, right? He's coming in Stillwater. Look, from one mullet to another, Gundy knows how to fire the ball around. He's an offensive guy. I think Ewers going to be able to pass that test, and Xavier Worthy at 6,100 against that questionable secondary. Give me Xavier Worthy.
Play that music again, buddy.
Great minds think alike.
If you saw the game-winning touchdown by Texas, you see what kind of talent Worthy has. That was a nasty outcut or whatever you want to call it for the touchdown. Worthy's just one of the best receivers in the country. There you go.
Reminds me of James Worthy, the way he cuts. Next up, my second highest price wide receiver. This one is I can't believe he's this cheap. This guy was offered $1 million to transfer.
Oh man, play it again.
Zay Flowers against the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Offered $1 million to transfer. This guy's an NFL pro already. All right, he's very good.
The BC offense might be trash all year long, but that's still. I mean, Flowers had some huge games: 10 for 117 against Rutgers, 5 for 151 against Louisville. Should be a lot of passing yards in this BC Wake game. Love the play.
Here's why I like it. BC's got one of the worst offensive lines. This is why I made the case that I think Colorado might be able to beat Boston College.
Yeah.
Is their offensive line is so bad. However, what is the weakness of Wake Forest's defense? They don't have a great defensive line.
Sure.
So I think Jerkovsky will have time to throw the ball, more time than normal. And then the Golden Eagles will soar to some points.
I like it. And while we're in the same game, I've given out 2 of my receivers, not even my highest priced one. I'm going A.T. Perry for Wake Forest. Sam Hartman's wide receiver 1. Yeah, he's had kind of an up and down season. I think this game, he's kind of coming on of late, and I think this might be his best game of the year so far. I'm 5 for 118 and a touchdown last week. Scored touchdowns 3 straight games. Give me A.T. Perry 7.4K.
I like it. But my next wide receiver, taking you to look. Bryce Ford Wheaton was a great story early in the year. Taking you to Lubbock, where West Virginia comes in, and Bryce Ford Wheaton was getting double teamed by Dave Aranda and the Baylor Bears. Past couple games, I feel like Wheaton's been double teamed. So, you know who developed somewhat of a rapport, I feel like, over the past 3 games is JT Daniels and Caden Prather. I'm going to take a shot at 5,800 on Caden Prather in a what I think will be a shootout, because Graham Harrell returning to the scene of the crime in Lubbock. So,
all right,
go.
Here's a side bet, because both guys are the same price, and you have 4 receivers. So in your flex, you could roster them. Great White Hope, Casey Filkins versus your guy Prather.
Let's go.
Bring it on, man. Let's do it.
Fucking go. Well, or no. I was gonna say maybe we do this one. Wait, because I have one more guy. You don't have any, right?
Oh, I thought you were done. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, Michael Wilson, the leading receiver for the Stanford Cardinals, out indefinitely. Well, for 4,400, you can get. So Michael Wilson has 26 for 418 on the season and 4 touchdowns. The number 2 wide receiver is Elijah Higgins, 24 catches, just about 300 yards, just 1 score. They also get Higgins the ball and some reverses and stuff. But Wilson's injured. Higgins is sitting there at 4,400. Bargain shop, people.
I like
Bargain
it.
shop.
I like it.
Let's go. As that is my wide receiver for the Stanford Cardinal. That is the final one. But yeah,
we're talking about that though. If you want a couple other receivers who are dirt cheap, there's a couple of guys I like here. Let me scroll down real quick. They're not going to be in this roster, but I'm going to have them in a couple of them. They're 3,700 or so. Let me take you to Texas's other receiver, Tavion Sanders. He's only 3.7K. I mean, last 3 games, 5 for 78, 2 touchdowns, 5 for 71, 2 touchdowns. Last week, just 3 for 37. But if we think that Oklahoma State pass defense is that bad, maybe they double up Worthy, and Tavion Sanders is only 3.7K. And the other guy I like at the same price, Kansas, is Mason Fairchild.
Yeah, he's only
3.7K as well. They're passing more with Bean. He's coming off a game 6 for 106 and 2 touchdowns. He's only 3.7K. So those 2 guys are going to find themselves in a couple of my lineups. Just wanted to give you guys some extra players in case you're looking for some dirt cheap receivers.
Yeah, in case you're searching for a win against us Sharps. All right. All right. Look,
good luck.
I want to tell you that the college football experience is brought to you by OddsTrader. OddsTrader is a place to compare odds from all the major sports books. You can also compare the different sign-up codes and promo codes from sportsbook to sportsbook to assure yourself that you get the very best deal possible. It also has a bet tracker, so bettors can keep records of all your games and betting activity. Go to oddstrader.com/bluewire. OddsTrader, the #1 site for all your game day bets. All right, we are back on the college football experience. Final lineup here. Saturday night. What's not to love about Saturday night? I got news for you. All 4 of my lineups, only 2 running backs.
Wow, crazy. So in general, I thought Saturday night was kind of my toughest to piece together. I got some, and really I went expensive with running backs, quarterbacks, and I went bottom dollar with receivers. Anyway, 2 quarterbacks for you.
2 quarterbacks. No. I'm sorry. 1. Actually, I'm sorry. 3 running backs. I
Interesting.
Misspoke. 1 quarterback. Just 1. Let's go.
Wow. So you're switching things up. Was this a conscious decision coming into the week, or really just kind of how the cookie crumbled?
How the cookie crumbled, man. It wasn't a conscious decision. I never really. There's nothing thought out about my life. All right, and I got Bryce Young, a quarterback, 9,100. Let's go. He's gonna light it up.
Okay. All right. I can't argue with that. Good play, but I didn't spend that much at quarterback because I think my two quarterbacks might be able to put up similar stats. And we'll start off with TCU's Max Duggan. He's crushing it lately. He's at home. TCU's undefeated. What more do you want?
Here's what I want. And here's you. I don't know if you're willing to, I know Bryce Young's super expensive, but Kansas State's defense, the best defense he's faced all year. Watch out.
Fair.
Watch out, buddy.
And if it was at Kansas State, I'd be even more worried. But, dude, this TCU offense, I mean, they're just putting up points. So I think he's going to get his. And he's only 7.9K.
Yeah, I'm a big Duggan guy. Look, but I do think that game might be a lower score game than most think.
Who's your second quarterback?
I don't have a second quarterback.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Dude, Malik Cunningham, 7.4K, our guy.
Coming back from the concussion, not at all concerned going up against Pat Narduzzi and his dynamic defense.
No, he's at home. And I mean, if you look at the last three games, like his lowest amount has been 35 fantasy points. You know, he had that one stinker against Syracuse to start the year. I think we were both on him. Other than that, he's crushing. He's doing his usual self, and he's only 7.4K. Give me Malik Cunningham.
Well, you know, I could have played a quarterback in this super flex spot, but instead
you can always play a quarterback in super flex. Yep.
Yeah. I
that
stayed
is accurate.
The same game, and I went with Israel Abanikanda.
Anaconda?
Yeah, whatever the fuck. He sounds
My
like
anaconda.
the snake. That's a fucking snake in the Amazon.
Israel, my anaconda. I like it.
Yes, and that guy, he's kind of Pat Narduzzi wasn't lying when he says we're going back to my style of football because they've only played like 5 games, and he has 129 carries. That's getting it done right there. 830 yards on the ground, 12 touchdowns. Are you fucking kidding me? And 1 in the air, 13 total touchdowns. How are you not rostering this guy against a soft powder puff ACC defense in the Louisville Cardinals? What did you not roster this guy?
I didn't. I mean, look, it makes a lot of sense. He's coming off a game with 71 fantasy points.
Yeah.
71 fantasy points. That's a great matchup, as is Moe Ibrahim against Penn State.
No, but I'm scared about that one because
I think Penn State's run defense is going to surprise people and not look anywhere near as bad as last week.
And Tanner Morgan might not play.
Yes.
They're going to load the box.
I was $100 shy of being able to roster my anaconda. So I went Jahmyr Gibbs for 7.8K. I told you to roster him last week. Oh, wow. You went big time on the running backs. Okay.
Yeah, buddy. All right. We're bringing football back to its fucking roots. Right?
I like it.
Okay, so give me your third running back then, or your
Deuce
second.
Vaughn, 7.2K.
Nice. You know what? I thought about that because TCU's defense, I don't think nearly as good, and there's some opportunity for him to really fuck up that defense.
I think there's going to be some points in this game, and the fact that he's coming off of one of the worst games of his career, 10 rushes, 23 yards against a very good Iowa State defense.
Yeah,
I think it's bounce back city here. So give me Deuce Vaughn 7.2K.
All right, my final, I like that play. I really actually almost played him over Gibbs. So my final running back here, and this one I actually hesitated on because there's someone for $100 cheaper that they kind of remind me of each other. Okay, I went with Johnny Richardson, the explosive running back for UCF. Taking on ECU. Now, here's the question I ask you. He 36 rushes, 270 yards. He got, I think, a 2-point conversion last week. Also has 12 catches on the season and a touchdown. This guy is dynamic. If you remember the Louisville game, he actually scored a touchdown that the refs missed. They said he was out of bounds. He's like an 80-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah,
screen. He's dynamic, and I think ECU's defense gives up a decent amount of big chunk plays. Now, for $100 less, I could go with John Lee Eldridge, who is very similar. I feel like they're very similar plays because they're both lightning in a bottle. John Lee Eldridge plays for Air Force, and he's the mix-up from when they go from Brad Roberts, they go to Eldridge, and Eldridge is kind of like Tyrell Robinson at Army as well.
I don't know, man. I think if you want to go bottom dollar on a running back, I like the other UCF running back RJ Harvey better. Talk about lightning in a bottle. I mean, Harvey last week, 4 for 73, averaging 18 yards a rush. The week before that against SMU, 7 for 69, 12 for 73 against Georgia Tech. I like RJ Harvey, and I think he's been cutting into Richardson's rushes, actually, and he's only 3K. Just throwing it out there. I didn't roster him here, but I've been, because I think last year, Bowser and Richardson were a little bit more equal. I think Harvey is almost maybe even surpassed Richardson, or they're at least on the same level right now as far as touches.
You know who I also have the money to spend, and the question is I think Air Force's defense is pretty fucking good, but Ashton Jeanty,
I had him in my lineup, but I took him out because that game might be really low scoring.
Yeah,
I like him though. The guy's a player.
Yeah, so I don't have my. That's the most I could do as far as dollars like that I have left over. Instead, what about taking a shot on Amari Demercado,
the backup running back for TCU?
Yeah, he gets some
touches.
Burn. I'm going to take a shot on him at 4,400. Let's go.
Okay. All right. Well, I went with your guy, Keton Mitchell.
He was money for me last week.
6.3K. That game where he put up 42 fantasy points. And he did the same thing.
Fastest player in college football.
Yeah, and not only is he fast, but he's a football player too.
Yeah. So
he's not a little scat back that doesn't want to get hit. I came away very impressed last week.
6.2, huh?
6.3.
You sold me. He's my boy. He
Play
treated
that
me well
music.
Let's go.
So who are you taking out?
I'm going to switch out one of my wideouts. I was going to actually go with the TCU wideout Barber, but since I think that team will have I think K-State's going to slow them down a little bit.
Barber's dangerous, but I think the more bet for safer production is probably Mitchell.
Yeah. So Mitchell coming into the lineup, which means I will then so I'm taking off that running back from TCU, the backup running back. I am then jumping to getting okay. So tell me your next play, because
I'm all kinds of confused with you, but I got 3 receivers and they're all $5,100 or less. The top guy, my guy Jared Wayne for the Pittsburgh Panthers. He's just a solid receiver that's probably going to get 5 catches for 80 yards and maybe a touchdown or something like that. So I do expect there to be some offense in Pitt Louisville also. Jared Wayne.
I like him. Bruce Wayne's son, right?
Not John Wayne, Jared Wayne.
Yeah. No, so I like it. So now look at these running backs that I have though. Abawan Nakanda, Keton Mitchell, and Jahmyr Gibbs. Those are the best running backs in the nation. Let's go.
That's pretty nasty.
But yes, your wide receiver play makes a lot of sense. However, how much did you spend for him?
$5,100.
Okay. There might be some more bargains out there.
I mean, I don't love the play. Are you trying to talk me to somebody else?
Well, no. I mean, I went low for 3 of my 4 wideouts, but my top wide receiver. Isaiah Winstead.
He's a baller. We both had him last week.
He gets like 40 targets a game. It's even when he has a bad game, you look at the targets, you're like, okay, they throw to him every play. So
how much do you love the fact that ECU's been in back-to-back, main slate or night slate DFS contests? Here
we go. Look, I won some money last week on the night slate because my Pirates came through. So give me your second highest price wideout.
I'm actually going to give you my last 2 because they're both the same price. They both play for the same team. They're actually both Texas A&M wide receivers, which Ainias Smith is out for the year. So they got 2 other guys that have been catching a lot of balls. One is Mushid Muhammad III. They call him Moose. We know who his dad was, playing for the Carolina Panthers. But last 2 weeks, 6 for 119 and a touchdown, 6 for 64 and a touchdown. I like the sound of that. And his running mate, Evan Stewart, I almost called him EJ Stewart. Evan Stewart, also last 2 games been coming on 8 for 106 and 5 for 56. So I need the A&M passing attack to do a little bit against South Carolina, and I think most of the balls will be caught by these two guys. Kind of a strange tactic there, taking two receivers from a below-average passing attack. I'm not going to lie. I feel a little weird about it.
And how much? What was that price tag again?
They were both 4,100.
I'd say you messed up a little bit.
Okay.
And I smell our bourbon battle.
Talk to me.
Well, Antoine Wells is out, right? Texas A&M's pass defense has been horrible without Mike Elko this year.
Yeah.
The second leading receiver, so basically the leading receiver left because Wells is the leading receiver, is Jalen Brooks. You can get him for $3,500 for South Carolina. Spencer Rattler's a way better quarterback than Lawn Chair Johnson or Haynes King.
Is he that much better?
Yes, he is.
So Jalen Brooks has been he's had a solid, 3 games in a row with 3 catches. I think I might play around with that. For now, I'm gonna stick with what I got. But maybe.
Well, how about this? How about at 3,700, Cameron Letou, tight end.
Yeah, I know he had a big week last week, but he's very hit or miss. So I think I like your South Carolina play better than the Bama tight end.
You think I could find
I'm not switching though. My lineup's good. Who you got?
You know what I might do though? I might switch and add in wait, which wide receiver would get the action? Who would be the second? Because Rucker might play too. I don't know. I think I just stay with my play. I think I stay with my play of Letou. So at 3,700, I'm going to stay with him. And then my final guy is Marshawn Ford, tight end for the Louisville Cardinals.
Our guy.
What's our bet here?
Let's see here. Well, who was your quarterback again?
My quarterback was Bryce Young. You might have heard of him. Come on, don't be a pussy.
Maybe only won a Heisman or something. Who's your second best receiver?
From a price point of view, is.
I got it. Here's a bet: Deuce Vaughn versus Isaiah Winstead. Because they're what? Deuce Vaughn 7.2K. What's Winstead?
7.4.
There you go.
No. Because I feel like running backs are gonna fucking destroy.
You chicken McFly.
How about we go Keton? No, you have Keton Mitchell, don't you?
I do. All right, hold on. So you're going Letou?
Yeah.
Him versus Moose Muhammad.
Let's go. Take your fucking Moose and Muhammad shit ass.
All right. Dude, he was on my fantasy team like 15 years ago, NFL, so I'm taking his son. Let's do it.
All right, folks, subscribe to the College Football Experience. And remember, Saturday morning, 11 a.m. on the East, 8 a.m. on the West, we will be live pre-game show and then the post-game show. Don't forget about that. Subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. Also, all these college basketball previews are coming out. Check out the College Basketball Experience. We come together as one on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. Come play DFS with us. We tweet out. We invite you to come play DFS with us. If you give us a follow at TCE on SGPN or at NC Nick on Twitter, at NC__NICK, you will receive the invite and be able to play just for a few bucks, some trash talking rights. I'm on Twitter at the Kobe D. Give us a follow and check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. Check out the NFL Gambling Podcast. Check out the MLB Gambling Podcast. What else is going on right now? NHL Gambling Podcast, NBA Gambling, all that good stuff. Check it all out. You get the SGPN app. It's free in the App Store, Google Play Store. You'll get access to all of that. Also, come talk college football with us. If you're a DFS guy, hop in, talk college football with us or NFL fantasy football, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. A lot of fun talk going in there all the time about stuff. So do that. And thanks for checking out this episode. This is the College Football Experience, Week 8 DFS style. You better start thinking about yours, and we out of here.
Thank you. Well, this is a great way to get started, and I haven't even won all my games yet. It's a great night to be a Tiger. I'm here with my family.
The Redskins want a new stadium. The owner, Jack Kent Crook, and he wants an indoor stadium. The Redskins cannot play indoors.
Because when you're in East Carolina, you go for it every time. You don't coach at East Carolina. You don't come to East Carolina. You don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it.
We got to compete on this next week. Take it one game at a time.
Congratulations.
Go Tigers.
Yeah, he felt like shit afterwards. Everybody pulled his shit out of him, but he worked his ass off. And there's no smarter coordinator in football.